Brat Barbie is a prominent creator and online personality known for her work on platforms like LoyalFans. In fact, in 2025 January, she was featured as LoyalFans feature creator, highlighting her influence and popularity within the community. Brat Barbie has been in the industry for 10 years, in a happy relationship for 7 years, and makes an extremely good living. In her words, it is possible, despite what people say. Additionally, she's been recognised in publications such as ASN Lifestyle magazine, further cementing her status in the industry. Her content is considered non-nude and often explores themes of sexuality, empowerment, and personal expression, resonating with a diverse audience seeking authentic and engaging material. Hello, and welcome to talking to us today. You're super kind.
Thank you.
Samantha, as Brat Barbie is also known, has had a busy day already. I've been interviewed by some very august publications, but she's been kind enough to spend a bit of time with us as well. So the first thing I want to really ask, I guess, is the obvious question. Just a little bit about your background and what led you into this industry and a particular role and niche that you have.
So it's actually a really funny story how it all came to be. When I was 18, I had a very close friend who told me she was doing customer service online work. I said, okay. Didn't pry her about it. And then she revealed more and said they would call her at night. I'm like, what? What do you mean they call you at night? Customer service? And that's when she revealed she was doing phone sex. And at that time, I wanted a new phone, and I was like, you know what? Let me try it. So I signed up, and honestly, the rest is history. I started my career in phone sex up until about 3 years ago. I'm pretty fresh in making content in fan sites. So 3 years ago, one of my fans encouraged me to start making fetish clips, and I filtered out of phone sex. It really wasn't for me anymore. And I made fetish clips. I signed up for Loyal Fans. That was my first fan site that I discovered. And it really took off from there.
It's funny, I know I talked to one of your close friends yesterday, and she talked about phone sex as well. And I thought that was like a late 90s thing. There's late night adverts on TV, call 800
Yeah.
dot, 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 dot. And I didn't realize it was still but yeah, she said, yes, same as you. She was in it for a long time. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then from deciding to sort of step away from phone sex and come more into your own as a creator, how did you land upon the persona of Brat Barbie? And maybe tell our audience a little bit about what that persona is all about and, yeah, the niche that you have.
Yeah. So I was discovering myself for a while. Up until 3 years ago, I wouldn't consider myself a dominatrix. It was really me doing whatever. I was naive. I didn't know much about kinks or this industry. I was just throwing things at the wall, trying to make a little extra money, hoping it stuck. So actually, it was 5 years ago when I discovered my persona of Brat Barbie. I had seen another creator on Night Flirt, and she was dominatrix, very successful, and we became close. And she kind of guided me and gave me some advice, and I realized this is what I want. I want to be dominant. I want to be in control. I am naturally dominant. I just didn't know how to hone it.
Mm-hmm.
So I dyed my hair blonde, no longer blonde, but I was a blonde. And I really liked just Brat Barbie rolling off the tongue, the two B's. And
Yeah.
I'm bratty, I am firm, and I'm girly at the same time. I'm not like a typical wearing leather type dom. So I thought, okay, Brat Barbie, I love how that sounds. I'm going to be blonde, and I'm going to give the Barbie fantasy. So that's how she came to be.
And how did people respond in the beginning? So, like you say, that there is perhaps this confusion that people might have thinking, well, all dominatrixes, they all wear black, it's always leather, and it's always sort of chains and very
Yeah.
dark, and it's a dungeon sort of thing. And you're obviously almost the opposite. So how did fans respond in that initial launch?
I think it's more accepted now. There's a lot of dominatrixes out there that are not the typical, leather
Okay.
chains.
Hmm.
But it's funny, when I was at AVN, the convention, many people there are not familiar with female domination. They do see it as pain
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
the tip
Hmm.
getting kicked or something like that. They don't understand there is a lot more to it than just that. But fans that are in it, they get it. A lot of them really enjoy the bratty persona, not the so much strict
Yeah.
chains, leather type. So I think they loved it. It I quickly saw them accepting me from going vanilla, I guess so to say, to this pink dominatrix. It's fun.
And how long did your hair stay blonde? When did the pink come about?
2 years. I only
Okay.
stayed blonde for 2 years. It was damaging my hair, killing it. Yeah.
It's yeah, I think people perhaps look at you, and although you're obviously not the girl next door, it's slightly more almost accessible in a way. It
Hmm.
almost feels like it could be your, I don't know, babysitter, au pair, whatever. It could be somebody that you actually know. Whereas I think sometimes that hardcore black dominatrix scene is very, yeah, it feels so different from day to day life. Whereas you sort of feel like somebody I would see in the queue at Starbucks, or I would see having a frappuccino there or whatever, and I'd just walk past you. But you wouldn't necessarily see well, you might do, a dominatrix sat there in black leather with a whip in her hand.
Right,
So I think
absolutely.
people like that. I think that's good.
Yeah, because I would say with who I am, it's more
Mhm.
of a mental domination,
Yeah.
more so than using my body. I mean, I do use my body, but it's very mental to me and for my
Mm.
fans. And I think that's why they enjoy it.
Hmm. And were you always very comfortable with your body, with your sexuality when you were a sort of teenager and when you were finishing high school and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like this was almost my calling in a way because
Yeah.
it's creative, it's fun. I get to run my own business.
Hmm.
So,
That's one of the things that we talked about before we hit record. I think is that I think a lot of people um, maybe don't recognize the amount of hats you've got to wear. So you've got to be a creator, a marketing person, a PR person, an accountant, a designer, an actress. So many different psychotherapist sometimes.
everything.
So many different things. You think so, and an entrepreneur. So it is a very hard, real business. But I think some people still see it as being oh, it's very easy. You might just sit there and you talk to people occasionally, and you log off again. It's just like
Yes,
having a call on the phone, and it really isn't, is it? I mean, I think that's maybe hopefully something that over time people will start to recognize that it is a real business. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's incredibly professional.
absolutely.
There are people that work incredibly hard. You work incredibly long hours. They're not sociable 9 to 5 hours.
No.
It's something quite different. So yeah, I wondered how you respond when people find out what you do and they sort of almost have this sort of oh, it's easy life, isn't it? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, I get that a lot. Even with people in my close life, I've had
Mhm.
friends that try it and it, just didn't work out for them
Yeah.
because they see it is not easy.
Hmm.
I've been in this for 10 years. That's a long time. And the reality is, many people do not make it long, and it's insulting. But they will never actually get it until they try because truly, I just don't think people will ever get it. They can see from the outside it looks easy, which that means I'm doing
Mm.
something right if it looks easy.
Yeah, yeah.
But unless you're in it, sitting down, trying to edit, get the ideas, filming while juggling your regular life and
Mm.
keeping up with your fans and
Hmm.
doing taxes everything. It is a
Yeah.
lot. And it's almost a 24-hour job.
Hmm.
You know, I get up, I research, or I come up with my ideas for my filming days, or I'm checking my phone, responding to fans.
Yeah. Yeah, because if people are sort of feel that they're sort of paying for a relationship in a way, then they don't want to wait a week for a response. They want to almost feel they're the only person that you're talking to.
Right.
Obviously, they're not, but that's how people want to feel, I think.
Yeah, it's
So
the psychology.
it yeah, it is in terms of customer service, it is an immediate response thing, really, isn't it? It's not just they'll wait because they don't,
They
and
don't.
sometimes
Yeah, they
it's
don't.
hard, it's competitive.
Yeah, it's like you want to strike when the iron's hot. That's part of
Yeah.
the mental psychology behind it. They
Hmm.
want it now, they want to speak to you now, they want to see your clips now. Leverage it. And that's what I
Mm.
do. I'm really good at reading that and
Yeah,
leveraging their wants and needs.
and I think it's a real industry that requires very, and it sounds so simple, very good listening and interpretation skills. So I
Absolutely.
think a lot of people think they listen, but people don't really listen. People don't listen to other people really.
No,
And I think if you're listening, sorry, my little dog's trying to get away.
that's okay.
Go on, there we go. Yeah, sometimes people listen, but they don't hear what the person's saying, and you could miss an opportunity to create some sort of custom content or do something unique for that person. And so if you're not listening and really tuned in, and it takes a lot of concentration to do
Yes.
that, and a lot of effort and energy. And how do you create the stories, and or when clients perhaps come to you with a desire or a kink or something that you perhaps, I'm sure you've heard of most things by now, but perhaps you might not come across. How do you, create a scenario that's going to engage them?
So usually I'm at a point where I don't have to engage with it if I don't
Yep.
want to. If I'm not familiar, if it's
Hmm.
something that I personally just can't relate to or am interested in, I just won't.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, and either they'll stay or and make another scenario, or they'll say, okay, thank you for your time. But I'm really happy to be at a point like that because then it doesn't feel like I'm having to do this. I don't
Yeah.
have to give you my time.
Hmm.
So that's really
What's the most sort of common request you get, and perhaps what's the most uh, unusual or interesting request that you've had?
common one. It's just, will you dominate me? They're just not
Mhm.
very specific. So I have to pull it out of them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those guys, they're just kind of fresh, new into this space.
Hmm.
And my strangest one, gosh, there's been so many over these years. But one that comes to mind, it's one I talk about a lot. It's when I first really started like financial domination.
Yeah.
I had a guy want me to just be clothed in jeans on cam while he sent me thousands just to talk to me. We talked. He was very strange, very out there. Apparently, he wrote movie scripts. I don't know how true that was, but just wanted me wearing jeans, clothed. Some nights he wanted me to do like ASMR to put him to
Hmm.
sleep. And within the 2 months that I spoke to him, he sent $20,000. Yes.
It'd be nice if they're all like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that would, I would say, one that sticks in my head for a long time.
Yeah. Hmm. And when I think when people perhaps think about domination or dominatrix, they do think about the sort of physical entity, or the being verbally abused, or being talked down to or degraded or whatever, humiliated. But there is that sort of financial domination side of it. And what do you think it is that motivates people to engage with you for that?
So I've come to find it's very rare where it's just going to be someone wanting to send you a lot of money.
Yeah.
It usually comes along with you engaging in their kinks. Maybe it's ass worship or
Mhm.
goddess worship
Yeah.
and or feet, where you can sort of use that against them and
Yeah.
pull
Yeah.
more money out of them. They want to see more, they want to hear from you more, so they're
Mhm.
willing to keep spending it.
I think one of the things that when I've talked to other people before, that they say that a lot of the reason that you're so successful and other people do well is that there's just a big market for people to find somebody they like and trust to communicate with. I
Yep.
think within relationships, if you've been in a relationship, no matter how long, could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 10 years,
Right.
you maybe have thought about something, maybe you want to try something, maybe you do want to be submissive as a man. And I still think there's that sort of societal thing where, and it sounds terrible, men are supposed to be men, supposed to be men.
Right.
And if you sort of talk about, and if you go to your wife or your partner and say, like, I really want to sort of submit to you and be submissive and want to sort of worship you, worship your feet, I think there's a fear that men have of thinking the wife's going to think they're super weird, or the wife's not going to understand it, or isn't going to, or is not going to understand the fantasy or engage in it properly. So I think it's like lots of things, really. If you want something done properly, you're going to see a professional, don't you? You don't ask your
Absolutely.
wife to fix the car. You don't ask your wife to, to sort of fix the internet when it's broken or whatever. You hire somebody that knows what they're doing because,
Yep.
and I don't know, is it cheating? I don't know. I think it's just expanding your horizons and hopefully bringing something to you, typically as a man, that you can't get elsewhere, and that it makes you happy, and everything
Yeah.
else goes on along with it. Do you? And it must be very hard to avoid this, being the sort of person you are, looking at what you do, and engaging as you do. How do you sort of balance the challenge when, because you want fans to really adore you and worship you and want to be with
Absolutely.
you? How do you manage the challenge when fans perhaps almost want the next step? So I worship you, I love you, I adore you. Maybe we should be together. When people go sort of beyond the professional line and want to make it personal.
Yeah, so I set boundaries. I'm very good about that.
Hmm.
I haven't had it happen, shocking enough, very often.
Okay.
But I put the boundary in place. Let them know you are paying for this. I am
Yeah.
not interested in you. This is income, you are money, they are wallets, and that's the persona as well, letting them know
Yeah.
you are nothing to me. I've recently had to set that boundary and it goes well. They realize they're being stupid, but I'm just very good at setting those boundaries.
Hmm. And how do you? Because I said at the beginning, you've been in a happy relationship for many years, and how do you set the, not boundaries, but how do you sort of differentiate between personal and professional life? Then you leave your room, you change your outfit, you sort of shake your hair out, and you're sort of back to being Samantha again, or you're back
Yeah.
to being the real you. How do you manage that?
So I wouldn't say I fully put on a character when I am,
Hmm.
I am dominant. I am
You're breathy.
bratty. I
Yeah.
am very teasing.
Hmm.
And because I've been doing it for so long, I don't treat my partner the way my fans might like to be treated because they do like the degradation, the
Yeah.
humiliation,
Hmm.
and it's very easy for me to separate myself from that. He doesn't see that side of me. He doesn't like to be humiliated. So it's just personally very easy for me to just, okay, I'm filmed. Now I'm ready to go hang out with my cats or go get some food. It's just like another day for me.
Mm. And if you found challenges getting into relationships when you're 10 years now and you've been sort of dating and things, and people find out what you do they, I guess they're intrigued and they're fascinated and they might say, oh, I have no problems with it. But I guess it takes somebody that's incredibly secure in themselves to date somebody that
Yes.
has so many fans as you do.
Yeah. One of my first relationships when I got into this, he was not okay with the phone sex, and I had to hide it from him. He was very controlling. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
And the relationship I'm in now, he's totally accepting. He's known me for a long time. And I was already in this when I had met
Yeah.
him. So he fully accepts it. It's almost fun for him to, watch me do what I do. And he's went to events with me like AVN. So he's very supportive.
How was AVN? I saw some pictures from
Oh
it. It
my
looked
gosh, it was so
pretty,
fun.
pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, it
Was it your
was
first time?
a lot. I ended up getting very sick afterwards. I was hoping I wouldn't, but so many people did. You have tons of people in your face.
Yeah, yeah.
It was long hours. They had me there for like 6 hours for 4 days on your feet, talking to people, meeting fans. But honestly, I had the greatest time. And then meeting other creators too
Yes.
was really one of the highlights. I loved it.
Yeah, I guess it's like lots of big movie conventions, isn't it? When a fan gets to meet somebody they've only seen on screen, it's oh my god.
Yes.
It's almost that. Wow, this person's real.
Yeah.
This is a real person. Some people must get overwhelmed, which must be kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people get overwhelmed. I would say, though, I didn't have any of my fans come out. A lot of them are married or they just
Yeah,
couldn't. And
yeah,
so I met new people they met me the first day and then they came every single day to get a new photo with me. And it was really awesome. I made some new fans there. I had other interviews there. I had photographers taking my photos. So it was the first time I got to be at an event like that, putting myself out
yeah.
there, really putting my name out there rather than just online.
Mhm.
So it was awesome.
And what's the experience been like with loyal fans? What was it? What you expected? Is the platform robust, and does it work with you? How's the relationship developed?
Honestly, amazing. With my
Mhm.
experience with other platforms, I have never been on a platform that cares as much for creators as they do. One second, my cat is. Let me
Okay.
just give me 1 second. I'm gonna close the door. um, but they are a platform that cares, and I saw that also more so when I was at AVN. I met
Mhm.
the founders, the co-founders. I met everyone,
Oh wow.
and his name is Darius. I'm not sure if he's the full founder of Loyal Fans, but he it was me and Trinity, and he thanked us, for believing in the site, and we thanked him for being so awesome, for treating creators all fairly, giving us these opportunities, the contests, the discoverability on the platform. My fans are mainly internal traffic from Loyal Fans.
Okay.
So, because I'm not very prominent on social media.
Mhm.
So it's been nothing but positive. I mean, their customer service, they listen to creators if you're having problems, and it's great.
Because I've yeah, I talked to people that have been on other well-known platforms, and yeah, they certainly wouldn't say they're listened to as much as you're suggesting that it's. And there's a lot of. I hadn't realised how many restrictions some platforms put on what creators can produce and what they can share, and nothing that's sort of certainly nothing that's illegal, but things you think really, you're not allowed to share that, not allowed to bring in external content, and it's very challenging. And one of the things that I saw when I was looking at all your stuff was the number of awards Law Fans gives out. I mean, for you having been in the industry for sort of 10 years and doing this for 5 years or so, to win sort of feature creator in January, you must have been really, really proud and really pleased. It's
Yeah.
a real recognition of what you do, isn't it?
It felt amazing because I feel like I was not getting the recognition for a while that I wanted. My work,
Yeah.
honestly, is very good. I put quality and my all into everything I do.
Hmm.
So to finally be recognized, to have won their contest and then made the featured creator, it was big for me. It was a
Yeah.
big moment, and it felt like everything was finally coming into place.
Yeah, it just exposes you to different people, different publications, and the number of interviews you do off the back of that. I know big interviews you've done today and other times. It just means that if people are looking for somebody with a voice and somebody almost to and not giving you another job now, almost to sort of represent the industry in a way.
Right.
They sort of reach out for you, and they've got somebody that's very lucid, that's very intelligent, that can talk with knowledge. That's what people want, isn't it? And you just find that it'll snowball and become more and more and more that people
Yeah.
want to reach out to you and want to manage you. So like I say, been doing things in the industry adjacent for sort of a decade now, 10 years, which is not very long in lots of careers, but in this career it feels like it feels like a lot of time. So what do you have goals and plans for the future? Do you have a thoughts to where you might be in 5 years time or 10 years time? What do you think might happen over the next few years?
Well, because it feels like, I'm just now really taking off,
Yeah.
I want to further my content creation even more. I want to build
Mhm.
my fan base higher. I love what I do. I'm in this for the long haul. I love the creativity, the freedom it gives me. I genuinely enjoy editing and the interactions. It's all very enjoyable for me. So,
Hmm.
I mean, I really just want to see myself grow even more. You know, I want my fan base to grow more. I want to create even more content and keep building future with this career. Eventually, I will retire, but not anytime soon.
That's all anybody wants, I think, is a job that they love. And if you ask most people, do they love their jobs, then the answer would probably be no, really. And most people in the jobs that they're doing, you say to them, is this something you thought about doing at school? Yeah, my ambition was to sit in an office all day. That was my ambition. I was desperate to do that. It's not, is it?
No.
People don't take people don't take on the sort of opportunities that they have really. But but I do think from the outside, the overall, if you classify as what you do as sort of the adult industry, there are so many aspects to it, and people come into it maybe through stripping, or people come into it maybe through phone sex, people come into it through photographs. Then they might decide to go into making films, making porn, or they might decide to go into the loyal fans one-on-one sort of route. If somebody was thinking about this as an industry to join, to go into, it's very hard to answer now. But what pitfalls would you advise people to watch out for? What would you recommend people do in terms of getting into it and perhaps not being pulled into things that they're not comfortable with? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I would say first and foremost, do your research
Hmm.
because there's a lot. There's so many kinks. Learning how to edit, learning how to speak to fans, and learning boundaries. You need to do your research because
Yeah.
it. I'm still learning. I'm learning all the time. I take classes. I use AI. I'm learning. It's a forever learning experience, and just going into it blind, kind of how I did, makes it much harder, and it could also make
Yeah.
it dangerous. You need to know the rules of these sites because that is might sound minuscule, but it's very big because it affects
Hmm.
everyone if you do things wrong, break rules.
Yeah.
And once you do get into this industry, if you are showing yourself, you're kind of losing your privacy in a sense. So you just have to know that, that you're opening up yourself and you have to be ready for that.
Do you ever get recognized on the street?
Not yet. No, I have not been.
I sometimes wonder whether, as you say, lots of people that perhaps engage with you in a relationship, whether they notice you, but they can't really say to their partner, "Hey, look, that's anyway." And they sort of remember what they know they've seen you somewhere, and they sort of think, "Hey, that's yeah, no, I was wrong. It's somebody I went to school with." It's like yes, or they sort of want to get in touch after. Oh God, I saw you, but I couldn't say anything. Yeah. And as we sort of said throughout it, it is both a physically and mentally demanding industry, as all people that work for themselves, all entrepreneurs are. So how do you look after your own mental and physical well-being? How do you nourish yourself? What do you do in your sort of spare time that helps you continue to be the person you are?
Yeah, I love to shop. So
Hmm.
I treat myself a lot. I will do like little staycations. I'll go to like a local hotel or go just out of town for a couple days, log off, and just not immerse myself in this world. I don't like to take long time off. I've never gone like weeks without being online, but I'll just do little things, hang out with my friends, go to the pool, small
Yeah.
little self care where I'm rewarding myself, for my hard work and just logging off and taking time for myself.
It's important, isn't it? Because everybody can get wrapped up in what they do, but sort of
Absolutely.
especially in your world, and especially when because it's hard. Because in a way, a lot of the time when you're not working, you're not earning. So it's sort of thing. Well, if I could just work. I might just work this weekend or next weekend and next weekend. Before you know it, it's yeah, you end up with strep, or you come down and you're sick and you can't do anything for 2 weeks. It's not. Yeah, it's about the long term, isn't it? As you said, it's not a sort of short term. I'm not doing this for 2 years and getting out.
Yeah,
I'm doing it because I love it and I'm going to progress it and develop it and yeah, learn more as I go along.
exactly. And that's why I think the content creation is very important because you have that in your backlog. If you are sick or you
Yes.
have things in your normal life that happen.
Hmm.
Like when I was sick in February after AVN, it was almost a month long ordeal. But I was still able to interact with my fans and make money because I have so many clips and I have that in my backlog. But it does get hard, when you do have sicknesses or
Yeah.
life emergencies come up
Yeah.
and then you can't be as present because in with what I do, it's about me being present. My fans love the
Mhm.
interactions. It's really about the one on one with me and not so
Yeah.
much the passive. So it can be difficult.
Mhm. What is your favorite sort of content to create?
I've been really leaning into exposure fantasy. That's
Hmm.
something I've discovered I really like recently, like blackmail fantasy. And then also a category called gooning, where they're masturbating for prolonged hours and you're encouraging it and they're watching all types of porn and going for hours
Hmm.
without orgasm. That one has been very fun too. That's one of
My
the
God,
categories.
it must be exhausting. Poor guys. Guess that's what they want, though, I
They
suppose. But
love it.
yeah, yeah. I guess yeah. It is a fantasy. I guess for a lot of people, I was somebody watching them, and if you're watching them and you're yeah challenging them in what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they're not doing it good enough, and they need to do it better and
Yes,
harder
it's
and
the
faster and faster.
encouragement and pushing them.
Yeah,
That's really what they love and what I like to
yeah,
focus on.
yeah. I think that's a good place to end. Thank you so much. You've opened my eyes. I didn't know what Gooning was. I thought I was getting to know most of these things, but that's a
Taught you
new one.
something new.
Yeah. No, I love the fact that that I'm learning more and more that it is a. And I always thought it was a real industry. It's a real career. It's offers a lot of opportunities, and I think, as you said, going into it with your eyes open,
Yes.
and I think you said you almost had a dominatrix type sort of mentor, somebody who'd been there for a while. I think that's a really good thing. If people can sort of watch somebody, observe somebody, see what someone else is doing, and perhaps not make the mistakes that they could make by just diving into it.
Right.
And yeah, I'm sure your future kind of seems to be bright, and looks like Loyal Fans doing a good job by you and the other creators.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, thank you massively for your time.
Thank you.
I hope you get some time to yourself today. I know it's been a busy day already, but no, I really appreciate you.
No, thank you so much. It was a great interview.
Pleasure.